Good morning, students. Today we will be reading the new chapter, Physical Features of India. Although the previous we have started. The chapter Physical feature means those landforms like plain, plateau, mountain, which we are able to see. For this, we do not require any sophisticated machines, etc. Are known as physical features. Plains, plateaus, and mountains. These are the low-lying areas known as plains, mountains. These are the three major physical features. Now, how these physical features are formed, that is a different story which we are going to read. But when we are talking about formation of physical features, there are two forces which work, endogenic and exogenic forces. On the earth, on the surface of the earth also there are certain forces which are acting, and there is a force which is coming from inside the earth. So these are the two forces which are working. This is interior and these are the external forces. External forces weathering, erosion and deposition. Now what is weathering? Suppose this is a particular rock and this rock breaks into two parts. This is weathering, breaking up of rock. And this weathered rock, if it is removed from here due to any force like the force of flowing water, wind, then that is erosion. And this weathered rock must have deposited somewhere. It is accumulated. That is deposition. If there is a mountain and here one rock breaks and it falls down. Ultimately with the river, suppose it is moving and it will reach to the sea. In sea it is deposited, or any low lying area, it can be lake or anything. Here there is deposition. A day will come when this low lying area, if it is not sea, suppose it is a lake or any low lying area, it will be filled with the sediments. Sediment means parts of rocks, it can be sand, soil, etc. So these sediments will be deposited and after a time it will come to one level. So here there is deposition and here weathering and this is erosion. So here weathering, erosion and deposition. Clear? Now, what is plate tectonics? Plate tectonic means it was a theory which was given 60-70 years back, and it says that the crust of the earth has been formed out of 7 major plates. This earth is made up of some plates. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, suppose this is 7. The 7 major plates. The complete earth, the sphere, is made up of 7. And several minor plates. There are more than 40 minor plates also on the earth. Now how it works? This earth was a burning ball. Big Bang theory, etc. we are at. It was very hot. Gradually, it started cooling. And in this process of cooling, the surface of the earth has cooled. But there is immense heat present inside the earth. And this heat results in breaking of the crust. The crust, the uppermost part, was broken. It is also said that all the continents were situated together. and this was the supercontinent. Supercontinent Pangaea. Gradually, due to this tectonic force, now here we are talking about few crore years back. Few crore years back. Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica, Australia, even subcontinent like Greenland, all were together. And this was supercontinent. Now, another part of this supercontinent, Angara land and Gondwana land. Now, in our syllabus, it is mainly about Gondwana land. Gondwana land, which comprised of Africa, Antarctica, Australia, South America, India. This comprises of Gondwana land. Now, coming back to the plate tectonics, it is very easy to learn all the continents which are on equator or in south of equator were the part of Gondwana land. That means Europe and Asia together, Eurasia. Eurasia was not the part of Gondwana land. North America, Greenland, these were the part of the northern side. Now these 7 plates where we all are living is crust on the earth's surface, and all the oceans are also here. The thickness of crust varies from place to place. If it is earth's surface, it can be like this. Here it will be mountains, ocean, normally plain landmass. It can vary from place to place on the earth. And the reason of this varying thickness is, it is also said that on ocean the thickness is very less, but density is quite high. But on the mountainous part, the density generally decreases. Then there is mantle. This mantle is also further divided into upper mantle and this can be lower. So upper mantle is somewhat soft in nature. It is like plastic layer, also known as asthenosphere. This crust is floating over this upper mantle, the part here that it is somewhat floating. And the reason why it is soft, because as we move inside the earth, an interesting fact is that all the knowledge which we are having here is due to volcanic eruption and earthquakes. In your 8th class or 7th class, you must have read about P waves and S waves. That P waves and S wave give lot of knowledge about the interior of the earth. Similarly, volcanic eruption, the molten rocks which come give us lot of knowledge about the interior of the earth. That means it is very hot inside the earth. People, when they develop in science and technology, try to know more and more. So there was one experiment done in Russia to dig a hole inside the earth. कितना deep तक जा सकते हैं? And the maximum depth till which human beings have reached artificially was 12 kilometers only. Now this is 6,300 kilometer, the radius of the earth. This is all we are taking, this portion we are considering, and this is radius is 6,300, and human beings have reached till 12 kilometer only. That is not even they were able to cross the crust, because there was so hot inside the earth that the machines were unable to take. And this crust is floating over upper mantle. Now when the plates are floating, these are 7 plates which are floating. Now these plates will ultimately either collide. So this is one plate and this is another plate. The movement of the plate can be towards each other or apart from each other, or they can move like this. So these are the 3 possible movements. If they are moving towards each other, it is converging plate boundary. So this boundary is known as converging, because they are converging, coming towards each other. So converging plate boundary means when 2 plates move towards each other. Diverging plate boundary when they are moving apart from each other. And this is transform fault. So these are the 3 kind of plate boundaries. Now this can result in folding and faulting. Now what is folding and faulting? Suppose this is earth surface. There is pressure from both the sides. It will fold. So this is folding. Then it can fracture also if the plates are moving against each other. A day will come when so this is breaking up of rocks. It can also occur. So these are the 3 kind of plate boundaries. Now coming to the formation of Himalayas. Now how Himalayas were formed? There was one large Eurasian plate and Indo-Australian plate. This is known as Indo-Australian. Now this plate was moving towards Eurasian plate. In between there was a prehistoric sea, Tethys Sea. This Tethys Sea was present between these 2 plates. Now, wherever sea is there, sediments will be there. Sediment deposition will be there. So here there were sediments. Now one important thing is, whenever we are talking about converging plate boundaries, suppose this is one plate and this is another plate. When they are coming towards each other, it will not happen like this. Never ever it will happen like this. When the plates are coming towards each other, ultimately one plate will submerge beneath the other. It will move beneath the other. So this was suppose a Eurasian plate and this was Indo-Australian plate. Plates came towards each other. In between there was Tethys Sea, and ultimately Eurasian plate was a bigger plate and Indo-Australian plate went beneath this. And this portion, wherever this is there, Tethys Sea, here sediments were there. Due to the movement of the plate, whatever sediments were there, these sediments were lifted. If you came up, just imagine there are 2 bricks and there is mud etc. in between, and both the bricks you bring towards each other, the mud will automatically be lifted, and the same thing happened here. So the sediments result in the formation of Himalayas. That's why Himalayas, the proof is it is made up of sedimentary rocks. And then when we say sediment means particle. The rocks which are made up of small particles which were compressed are sedimentary rocks. So the sediments of Tethys Sea are uplifted and result in the formation of Himalayas, and then the other plates are formed in the south of Himalayas. Clear?